Hello, I'm Mo. I'm in the Keto Kitchen for Matthew's Friends, and today I'm going to be making a Frankfurter flan. And it's going to be a decent size, so it would do as a family meal, really, because anyone can eat this. And if you don't want to use it like that, it portions up really well. And I'm going to start off by making a pastry. And for that, I've got some ground almonds, good old ground almonds, where would we be without them? And some psyllium husk. And in there's a tiny pinch of salt. I just give those a little mix so that the psyllium husk gets in equally with the almonds. You'll get a better pastry then. And then here, from the amount of egg that I weighed out, I've taken a small portion of it and I'm going to add some double cream. Just make sure you get all that out. And just give that a little stir so that it's well combined. So we need those two. And then for the basis of the pastry, we've got mozzarella cheese. Now this we have to melt in the microwave. If you don't have a microwave or you don't like using a microwave, then you can do it gently in a saucepan. Now I'm just breaking that up because it will melt down quicker if it's in smaller portions. I'm going to make a noise now and just pop this in. This is a very versatile pastry. It's the one that I use for sausage rolls, which has been very successful. But of course you can make chicken pies with it and flans, mince pies at Christmas time, be brilliant for that. When that beeps, hopefully it should look quite milky. And then you get these two ingredients in as quickly as you can. Yeah, you can see that is milky. Now I want to get this in as quickly as I can, so in goes the ground almonds. Give that a quick stir, and then the cream and the egg. And this is when you get a bit of elbow grease going. Because the mozzarella tends to be strandy, and the other two ingredients have cooled it down a bit, it will try and get back into being strands, but just keep pushing and pulling it until it forms a smooth dough. You can see that look, the way just now it was very strandy. It doesn't matter if you do see a little bit of mozzarella that hasn't quite gone in, but just try and get as much worked in as you possibly can. And the success of that will all stem from how hot it is when you put the other ingredients in. Now see that? That is a nice soft pastry dough. And I'm going to roll it out. You've got to use it all, of course. You can't have any trimmings left over. So you make it as best shape as you can. And I usually use parchment paper for rolling it out on. Just put it on and try and get it as round as you can. If you get a ball, and you're going to make it to fit a 6-inch pie plate. You could make little individual ones, but I don't know about you, I find little individual ones a little bit fussy at times, fiddly, whereas you can make a big one and it makes 4 portions. Brilliant. And you just keep rolling. Try and keep it as round as you can. I'll take the paper off in a moment so you can see how it's going. You're going to need it to be roughly 8 inches in diameter to allow for it going down in the dip. Now, when you've done it, you've got the choice. You can either go for it and put the filling in and cook it with the pastry from raw. But if you want to guarantee a crispy bottom, then you really need to blind bake it first. So if that's important to you, then I would suggest you do that. But if you don't mind a little bit of a soggy bottom, then you can just do it like this. So I'll show you what it looks like now. I can actually finish rolling it without this paper now that I've done most of it. You can see that's quite a good pliable pastry. You can handle it, it doesn't fall apart, it's not crumbly like the early days of making pastry for keto. You had to do it all in the dish because, well, you just couldn't handle it. But this is fine. And just tease it out a bit. Now I'm going to make it fit that now. So we get rid of the paper, the dish, and in it goes. Once it's in, you can patch it up just like you can with short crust pastry. So I want to get rid of those bits. I'm going to get a knife. Trim those. We can't waste them because they must be used. Trim them off. You don't have to be too gentle with it because you can shape it up after to make it look decent. Because it's so pliable, you can really bring it to the edge. It doesn't shrink like some short crust pastry does. So you don't have to rest it or do anything like that. Now see, that's all in there. When it's cooked, it'll look better than it does now. And as I said, if you want a really crispy bottom, you must blind bake it. But if not, it'll work out fairly well so long as you put it on a hot baking sheet when you put it in the oven. So there's the case. Now we get the filling. First off, Frankfurter sausages. Now I'd just like to show you these. I know you'll all have your favourites. I found these and they're zero carb. I know there's not a lot of carb in some of the others, but there is some. So if you can find these, this is Morrison's, but other supermarkets will probably have a similar one, but they are zero carb, so they're very handy and they're nice size. And being a double pack, it's very useful. So I've cut them up into fairly small pieces, not too small. And you just put them in, tease them around a little bit so it's all pretty even. You get an even amount of sausage per portion. And on top of that, simply grated cheddar cheese. For me, the stronger the better. Again, just put it on. And again, tease it across just to make sure it's all fairly even. Now at this point, if you would like to, you can put a sprinkling of dried herbs just for a bit of extra flavour, but that's purely optional. And then there's egg. Now I know when you normally make a quiche, you have egg and milk or egg and cream. If you need to get some more fat into this dish, you can add some cream, but I like it just with the egg. There's a pinch of salt in it, and then you just pour it over. And I've found that just by having these ingredients as they are, it's quite a firm consistency when it's cooked, and I found that it freezes quite well. Sometimes quiches, when they're a little bit wetter with cream in, that when you defrost them after freezing, the texture isn't that brilliant, but I found this to be quite good.